No, we're into the conversation, you know?
Exactly. We're having a conversation. It's most important. All right, y'all. We are live. What's going on? John Melton coming to you live with mylifestyleacademy.com, where we help you go from average to savage, baby. How many of you are excited to hear from the amazing Veronica Allis? If you don't know Veronica, you're going to learn today, because she's one of those people that, she's gone out there and accomplished a lot of things, but she's done it with grace. She's done it in a way where she's maintained some level of balance, because I know a lot of us want to have it all, but you can't do it all, right? You got to learn to outsource. You got to learn to delegate. You got to know that there's seasons in your life when you're going to double down on certain activities, certain projects, if you will. But she's got a new book coming out. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to avoid burnout. She's going to talk about how to set yourself up for success so that you can build your brand if you choose to do so, build a customer base, build a team. Her team right now is having a record month, a massive month. Rank advancements are popping like popcorn. And it's so cool too, because we were just talking, which is why we were a couple minutes late. Last November, she had to really stretch to hit a certain level in her business. She had to stretch. It was hard. It was we had to really push and grind, and as a team, they had to really come together. This month, just blew right past it like it was nothing.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about this business, this type of business. Not all of us are in the same company. I know we got people from all different companies that are going to be on here. We're actually live, by the way, for those of you that don't know. We're live on my profile, our John and Nadia Melton business page, our YouTube channel, in our team Facebook group, M Life Nation. What's up, y'all? And in the My Lifestyle Academy group. So we're live all over the place. Feel free to share this broadcast. If you want to have it all, you want to avoid burnout, but you also have a family, right? Veronica's got children. She's a wife. She's got a lot going on. And somehow she's able to do all these things, rocking her business, building her brand, her family. She's gotten really good at outsourcing, for sure. We'll talk about that. And she's got a book. She's launching a book right now. It's crazy. So Veronica, what's up? So happy to have you here, and congratulations.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation, John. And it's crazy that you talk about this, right? I'm doing all of these things, achieving all of these things, because I experienced burnout. I experienced, life throwing curveballs to me and wanting to quit everything. There was a time, I think on the beginning 2021, where I couldn't handle anymore. It was too much. I learned my dad had cancer, was going through postpartum depression. It was a hard time. And I thought during that time to quit. I'm you know what? I'm going to quit all my dreams. I didn't even think about it because I was burned out. And not only in that moment, in the beginning of my business 7 years ago, I wanted to quit 6 months after I started because it gets too much. And mostly when you have a job, when you have family, when you have projects going on, all these things, life things, right? That you are maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not, I don't have the potential to do all of these things that I want to, that you feel called to. But let me tell you, yes, you can. I have found so many ways to keep balance in the things that are most important to me. And we're going to talk about that today.
and can you talk a little bit about that story, though? Because, having a baby, losing your father, so much, and I don't want to bring up emotional, stuff like that. But, it's important because I think a lot of us, it's not even burnout in our business. A lot of times it's that, the personal life, right? The distractions, the health stuff, family stuff. It is so hard when your foundation is rocked. It's so hard to be let me go build my business, right? So could you maybe talk about that and what that looked like for you, how you persevered through all of that?
Wow. So first of all, for me was to reach out to people that really meant a lot, like mentors and, partners in business that are really close to me, friends. I always say this, reach out first, never quit. Because sometimes when we are having a bad day emotionally, we tend to, just give up.
Yeah.
And it's just because it gets too much emotionally. But the first thing that I did was reaching out and giving myself, after I did that, it's very important that you share with somebody your dreams, your vision, your goals. Like it could be your mentor. Like I do it with John, Marina. Um, Sharing with them what is important to you, because during these times of adversity they can remind you your why,
Yeah.
right?
We were
um,
just talking about it too, right? You're having this like incredible success right now in your business. And when you got started, I was basically at the same level, same rank. And I was saying how like that first November when we had like the Black Friday, the big, we're gonna crush it this month, our biggest month ever. Our volume that month, that was November 2016, our volume that month was 220,000 as a team. Now my team will do that like in the morning of a day, right? Like in the first the first probably hour today, we had over 300,000 in just subscriptions that went through. Just but that was what we were doing in an entire month, and that was a big month for us. So
yep.
you have to have those conversations with people that are where you want to be. And I actually posted about this, and some people were like a little upset with my post, but hey, I'm just speaking the truth. Like, the biggest reason people struggle in business, I mean, obviously it's fear and it's indecision and it's inconsistency, but a lot of it is their ego, right? They're so prideful and they don't want to ask for help and I'll figure it out. But the best part about a business like this is you have that support and
Yep.
you can reach out to someone that is where you want to be and say, listen, here's what I'm going through right now.
Yep.
Can you offer some guidance and support? And sometimes you know what it is sometimes, and Veronica, I bet you can relate to this. Sometimes it's like I just need someone to listen to me for a second and just let me like get this out, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you as a leader, you forget to do those things, like ask for help, right? We want to do everything and everything. We don't want to say that we feel, we are not feeling good, or we're going through adversity, or we're not even believing or trusting our path anymore. And just doing that and reaching to somebody that you trust, and just for them to listen, remind you how awesome you are, right? Like the rock
Yeah.
star you are. It will give you that full fuel, but also remind you that it's okay to take time for yourself. Hey, it's okay. For example, for me, what keeps me in balance is that I always have like 4 priorities in my life, and I call them pillars, right? Because we can build anything. If our pillars are strong in our life, we can build a whole empire, a whole building. So for me, it revolves in 4 things: family, work, development, and fill your tank or your cup. So for example, for me, it's important that I give time for my work, right, my business, and I built, right, we have the pillars, and then I built my building through blocks of
Mhm.
time. And this is what's keeping me sane. Anything besides that, right, it's just noise, and it's just checking in other people's needs. So I always check myself, like, where am I putting my energy, my attention? Is this going to help me progress? Am I investing, or am I just losing money? And my money is my energy.
It is funny, right? Money is my energy. I love that. But it really is funny, right? Because sometimes people start a business like this and maybe they're a year into it, 2 years into it, 5 years, and they're still kind of winging it. But if you had a traditional business, you would know exactly when your hours of operation, like when your business is open, when you're, focused on certain things, like you would have that infrastructure. But this whole like online business, this side hustle mentality is a big reason people struggle. And they, I always say they want a filet mignon lifestyle, but they got them hot dog habits. So can you talk about what are those pillars for you? What is your schedule like at this point? Because I know you've done a really good job of like creating that infrastructure, the foundation, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so okay, so these pillars, first of all, so what really helped me, and this, if you do this, you will increase productivity, you will increase focus, energy, everything. If you take the first hour of your day for yourself,
Mhm.
okay? Don't checking into social media. I know it's very easy for us to wake up and do this. What's happening? Let me check my inbox. Oh my God, who texts me? Right? It's so easy for us, but just throw your phone the first hour and give it to yourself, because scientifically, knowing myself, I learned this with Brendan Bouchard, High Performance Academy. Scientifically, if you do this, you will increase 30% productivity during the day. I'm focusing on everything, energy. I love this. So the first hour, you go, drink water, stretch, work out, and also plan strategically your day. Okay.
Mm,
And I talk about the four pillars because how you plan strategically, well, based on what are your four priorities, like family, work, time to fill your cup. It's very important for you to give time to yourself, to have balance, right? To have energy that you can invest in things that will help you progress in life. And also development, like, okay, this other pillar is development, my talents, maybe a hobby, project, business, goals. And every day I plan my day and I ask myself, okay, what are three things that will help me move forward in all of them? Or it's depending on what's going on. So every week on Sunday, I will sit down and I will say, okay, what is important this week? What is my goal this week? And I will plan, I will have like a vision on how I want my week to look like. But then every day, that first hour, I will schedule my day depending on what I need to do. For example, my business, it will have blocks of hours. It will have 1 hour, 50 minutes. I say 50-minute blocks where I do my activities for my business. This is our DMO. Um, daily method of operation, right? So I do that 1 hour, and then I do 50 minutes, and then I do another 15 minutes for my team if I have a project going on, if I need to create things or just delegate things, just answer questions, I will have another time for that. If it is for my family, I have a chunk of blocks of hours, and it's after 5 or after 6, I will just turn off my phone and be with my family. Because what I notice is when I am giving all my five senses to each thing that needs my attention, that will help me move forward with any project. Like, for example, when I was writing the book this whole year, I give myself not every day, but three days a week, 4 days a week, I will give myself 1 hour to write, and it was like 50 minutes just writing and not doing anything else. Like, it was writing, it was not just writing and then checking social media. I will get distracted. And when
yep.
you get distracted, you get overwhelmed because you're all over the place. And this what it happened to me before. When I was before just not doing this and not working intentionally, I will be with my family and then I'll be on the phone too and responding messages. So guess what? My energy was dissipating everywhere,
Yeah.
and I will feel really empty. And when you feel empty with your energy because it's going everywhere unintentionally, then you lose that motivation. You lose that fuel that help you move forward. So for me, when I'm working in anything, it has to be five senses, 50-minute block. It's amazing.
Well, and it's interesting to point that out too, because I think again, when you're working from home and you the kids and all the things, right? It's like if you don't have a schedule and you're just haphazardly going through your day and you're just kind of winging it, you're bound to have a lack of productivity. It's kind of like what you said with Brendan Bouchard, right? It's like spend that first hour of your day, journaling, meditating, working out, whatever it is. And look, everybody's got a different kind of personality and schedule. Like some of us, it's like, hey, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and go off to work. Like I can't wake up at 4 a.m. I get it. Everybody's got different schedules, different. Some of us have little kids, some of us have different situations. We're a single parent. We have a full-time business, but you need to find that time for yourself, because if he's saying that it increases productivity 30%, you could also look at that like it's increasing your income by 30%. It's kind of a
That's
big
right.
deal. And even putting your, like you said, putting your family in your calendar, right? If you're just winging it day to day, you respond to messages all the time. Actually, Veronica, can you talk about that? I know we were in Destin that time and people were like blown away by like how your delegating and outsourcing with like your customers, and you have this like big, you know, customer base personally, you have this big team. What's that schedule that you set up so that people are getting responses, even if it's not from you necessarily, so that way you kind of have your hours of operation? Could you talk about that too?
Yeah, of course. So, one thing that I love that I learned from Nadia Melton, hey love. Anyways, it's like she gave me this question like, okay, what is the number thing you're stressing about right now? And my business being exploding. Like I get like hundreds of messages every day from people, asking about my products, about my brand, everything. Um, so I was like, well, it was, just sitting down, something that will take me before maybe 1 hour to respond messages and then just prospect. It was taking me the whole day. And I was not even getting to all of these messages, which is a good thing, right? Thank
Yeah,
God.
positive problem, but still, it's overwhelming when you're like, oh my gosh,
That
like
is
I can't
overwhelming.
breathe.
I wasn't being my
Yeah.
best version with my family, my best version with my team. I was like just in one pillar, and it was making me feel unbalanced, right? Like if you imagine all your energies in one pillar, you go this way, and then the whole thing is like unbalanced.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just visual.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way,
Anyway,
man. I have to like think of things in
right?
that manner. Otherwise, it's just, yeah. And you start to notice it affects your energy. It affects your
Of
your
course.
your your energy with your family, and
Yeah.
like you kind of start snapping at people and you're like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
And
Oh, I
something
know
really
what's going
cool
on.
is
Yeah.
that something really cool, and I also it's in the book. Is like I talk about this your energy, your vital energy. I call it self-esteem. But when this energy that is, imagine your body is a car. So when you put the gasoline, of course you can go everywhere. Like with your car, you can go everywhere. But when these levels of gas are going down, imagine with you with your energy, when your car isn't about to stop, what does it do? It will like, I never been, but I ask, but it moves back and forth, like, oh my God, what's happening in this car? It's gonna stop. Well, the same happened to you, but what happened with you? You're becoming really reactive. So
Mhm.
when you find yourself being reactive to everything in your life, like just coming at people and reacting and screaming, you're in this stress level because your energy levels are down, and this is a sign for you to fill your cup.
Yeah.
You need balance anyways.
Yeah. It's so true. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, you know, because again, everybody's got different personalities. Whenever I feel edgy, that's a good way to put it. Whenever I feel like I'm annoyed by things that I shouldn't, you know, and as you get older, right? I'm 42 now. Like, you notice there's times you're like, why am I so pissed? Like, oh, didn't get a good night's sleep last night, or I was stressing about something,
Yeah.
or you know, maybe it's just you just worked like 6 hours straight and you need to put your freaking phone down. And the problem is, how many of us are that A personality where it's like we love what we do, we're kind of obsessed, and it's almost hard to set our phone down, or it's
Yeah.
almost hard to take a step back. But here's the thing, and I know I talk about this a lot if you follow me, but the people that are messaging you, if they see you responding immediately all the time, like even late at night, they're actually going to stop messaging you because they're going to go, I don't want to have to just be available 24/7.
Right.
It's
Right.
okay if you respond to a message a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later. Now, of course, it depends on the situation. Like if it's like leaders on your team and people that are very important, you want to respond as quickly as you can. But, you know, like Veronica said, she has hundreds of people in her inbox. It's okay if she responds later. It's
Yeah.
okay if she responds a week later, a month later. You know what? It's okay if her assistant responds.
Yeah.
How many people do you have at this point that are working for like your virtual team, not your network marketing team, but like that that you have as a VA on your team?
Well, right now, I just have one, and I love her. Thank God I found her last year.
Oh, that's
She's
great.
been working with me throughout the year. She helps me responding messages. But something about me, I like the touch with my clients. I like the touch with my team. I like the touch with my followers. So I am always involved now. she helped me get that first thing, like the conversation started, or if it is something really basic, like where is the link so I can buy this, or I can get into your course, or I can get this. She will help me do that. And then she works the hours that I'm like with my family, or like the first thing in the morning, right? Like that first hour, like the first 2 hours, she is there helping me respond while I'm getting my time, while I'm filling my cup, you know? And so sometimes when I go to events, or like when we went to the mastermind, she was working while I was, filling my cup and learning, right? So I can bring more of my best to everyone that follow me, who are my clients, and my team too. So that's when I decided to get a VA, when it was getting really big. I couldn't handle everything. For me, it's very important, my sanity, my balance, and my energy, so I can work on other things that are also goals and dreams of mine.
Yeah. And I think this is such an important thing to point out, is that it's not that the people aren't getting responded to. They're just getting responded to by someone else that's working for you, that you've hired and trained.
Yep.
And how many of you have a VA? Let me know in the comments. If you don't have one, you need to hire one, at least one. Like, I don't know what we would do without Desi, without Bem, without Kyle. Some of you have probably interacted with them. Like, literally, Desi is running the StreamYard right now. Like, I don't know what I would do without them. And, the thing is, of course, it's not always easy to find that right person for you, but think about this. In fact, all of you should write this down. What does your perfect day look like?
Yeah.
And I would say a lot of people are probably like, I would love to be full-time in my business. But then what does that look like? Right? So for Veronica, she spends an hour for herself, right? That self-care. And then of course she's got time where she's getting the kids ready. She's got different things going on. So she figured out, okay, here's what I want my schedule to look like: morning, afternoon, evening. And when I'm not going to be online or available, I can have my VA help out with messages or whatever it is that you want to delegate and outsource. Because here's the other thing: you need to also get some clarity. And Veronica, I'm assuming you did this too. You need to get clarity on, like, what are those activities that kind of drain your energy, right? That's really important to know, because I know there were, like, I don't like this has nothing to do with my business, but I hate paying bills. I hate seeing the bill and going, not only do I have to pay this, like I have to physically pay it or whatever, I have to set up some type of automated, process. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to be involved in it. Nadia, thank God, handles that stuff. But you might be the person in your family that handles that stuff. So if you hate it and it drains you and you're like, hey, I don't have a Nadia, maybe you set it up so that it's automated. How many of you ever heard of ROI, return on investment? But there's also ROTI, return on time invested. So if you have to sit down for an hour or two or three to set up protocols and systems, or to train somebody, because later on that will give you the time that now Veronica has to not only run her business, have record months, rank advancement like crazy this month. Her team is smashing it, but she's also she just wrote a book. Like, are you kidding me? Can you talk a little bit about the book, by the way? I think everybody would be really excited, although it's only Spanish for now, but you're going to create an English version. So, but talk about that, because that's like such a cool thing. How many of us would love to write a book?
It's been a journey, an amazing journey. I cannot believe it's like I'm 2 days away to publishing it, to have it on Amazon, selling it. And I'm so excited. It's gonna be in Spanish, but we're gonna work next year to have it in English and then Audible. But the book is about self-esteem, self-growth, and self-development. How can you navigate your life and get to know yourself through your emotions? And I love that because, it's being a very hard year for me after losing my dad. The idea of this book started 2 years ago, but then after losing my dad, it just gave me a very profound view of life, a different perspective, and also um, what our priorities are, right? And here I had a really deep meaning of that, because where are we focusing our energy on that is not helping us? Just after you leave something really, really how you say, like very painful in your life,
Traumatic.
you can realize all of these things. So um I talk a lot about, balance, presence, self-esteem, my view on self-esteem, and how that energy can help you manifest so many things in your life. But if this energy is drained by things that is not helping you move forward, the only thing that you will manifest is more of a scarcity. That energy is down, the level of energy is down. So everything that you're gonna encounter in your life is conflicts, obstacles, and things that you don't like. But these things that you don't like, they are there to help you go inside, go for you. And that's the title of the book, Go For You.
Yeah.
So
So people are asking, what's the name of the book? So there you go. Go for you. Right?
go for you.
Go for
In
you. I
two
like
days,
that.
I'm gonna show the cover, but go for you. So it's like you go so many places, but have you go inside? How does it feel right there? How does it feel? Do you like it? And most of the time, life is gonna show you what you need to work on, because you're gonna get you're gonna get triggered on things. You're gonna get triggered. So when this emotion happen, like you feel angry or sad, it's a great moment for you to go inside, and then this will open the door to a belief that you need to change to see life in a different perspective and help you heal and progress. So I go very deep into this. I always saw life very different, and this book is, wow, it's activating.
I love that so much. And it's really just, a matter of making that decision that, hey, you know what? I know it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. And I'm going to show up and commit and be disciplined. And, it's interesting, you talk about self-esteem and building up that confidence, that really stems from consistent effort, right? Because the problem today sometimes is there's so much information. There's an abundance of, gurus and mentors and coaches and books and courses. But at the end of the day, it's about implementation. It's about taking action. It's about showing up every day and proving to yourself that you're worthy of success. Because all of us truthfully are worthy of success. But if you got these limiting beliefs that I'm not worthy, I can't do this, who am I to write a book? That imposter syndrome is a legit
Mhm,
issue for
mhm.
people. It's funny too, because I know you're also crushing it on social media. You've been crushing it for a long time. And I get people that are like, how can I do better on my social media? And I look at their content. Either they don't post often enough, or they post in a way that comes across as very like salesy or promotional or selfish. And the sooner you go, you know what? It's not about me. Like Veronica didn't write the book for her,
No,
right? Her business isn't exploding because of her own selfish desires, because she got so much clarity on how she can make an impact helping other people. And
that's right.
that's the thing that clicked for me many years ago, because I used to be terrified of public speaking. How many of us are scared of public speaking? Like I was terrified of public speaking. I was so afraid. And now people are like, you? How could you? But I promise you, they would get Nadia. This is when we were just kind of like, we kind of like knew each other, right? We weren't even really friends yet. She was in Indiana, I was in Maryland, and they would get Nadia on the phone with me to try and convince me. I don't know if you even know this, Veronica, but
I didn't know.
she would try to convince me to start speaking in front of the room. And I wouldn't do it. I was so damn, and I knew what they were doing. So I was like, no. I'm like, I'll talk to you all day in that sexy
And now
Russian.
look at you.
Yeah. But I was like, I'm not going to go in front of the room. But eventually, of course, reluctantly, I went up there, and guess how I got good at it? By doing it,
That's right.
over and over
It's like,
again,
you
where
know,
eventually you enjoyed it.
yeah, like whatever connect to you. Like
Yeah.
I know we have all these fears, like, oh my gosh, what
Mhm.
about if it's not gonna be how I want it, or it's gonna be good for me? But this is just limiting you, because you came here. This life is about experience. See it as a laboratory
Yep.
where you experience everything that connects with you, so that you have a result. So
Yep.
this result will help you know, okay, this is my path or not. And if it is not your path, well, you take another way, or you change the way that you're doing it, tweaking until you find, okay, what makes me so happy or be my best self. But
Yeah.
it's through experience, it's through doing. So whenever you feel fear, just do it. Just
Yeah.
start taking action. That's how you progress.
Yeah. And it feels good too, because then, and this is what I was saying is you start to see how your message and your story and your perspective and your tips are impacting other people. And I can tell you, that's exactly what has happened for Veronica, is that
Yeah.
people love her. They love seeing pictures of her and her kids and her family. And, she's giving them insights and inspiration. And all of a sudden you go, it's not about me, right? Like, why am I sharing my product? So I can make money? No. If you're sharing a product just to make money, that's why you suck at selling, because you're having to sell someone on buying your product.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really believe that your product can help someone, of course, there's always going to be a degree of selling. But the point is, you should be selling something that can make a difference. You should be sharing a message. You should be showing up in a way that you go, you know what, it's not about me. How can I help that newest person
Yeah.
that's in the seats, or that's, back then that was for public speaking, right? I'm like, I'm thinking about the new guy that's sitting in the room, not the guy that's heard the presentation 50,000 times that knows I messed up. I'm thinking about the new guy. That's the same thing when I'm doing videos. I'm talking to a specific type of person. When Veronica wrote her book, she was thinking about a specific type of person. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, when you make it about how you can help others, because we also have to remember this, we all have a unique story. We all have a unique personality and perspective, and
Mhm.
your voice needs to be heard. Veronica can reach people that I can't reach.
Mhm.
First of all, because I don't speak Spanish, but second of all, because she has her own unique story, her own unique perspective. So I think that's so important. Veronica, what else could you share with people?
And we're just different channels.
Exactly.
Sometimes we're afraid, oh my God, this person talks about the same thing and I'm gonna talk. But listen, you are
Yeah.
a different channel. It's like
Yeah.
going through the radio. So if I go through the radio, I will get a frequency, right? Like I will hear John. Oh, I hear John. But maybe another person will not hear John, but will hear me. And
Mhm.
maybe another person will hear you.
Yeah.
We're all different channels, even though we might talk about the same thing. It's just so different because the frequency is different. You will get to people, different people than all of us. And I think the most important thing is that you share your experience. That's what I did from the beginning. I wasn't even thinking like, oh my God, what I'm going to talk about, like what's my niche. I was just going through the process of being an entrepreneur, and what I was learning, I was sharing. I was learning, I was sharing, until it got to a point that, because right when we start this journey of being an entrepreneur, network marketing, it's a journey to get to know ourselves, right? Like we face everything. We face what we like and we don't like. And then you get to know yourself, right? So by doing and sharing and not stopping, just share, try different things, then you will tune in into what you really like, what you really are good at. Like I remember 7 years ago, I was sitting in our apartment and I asked Nita, like, what I like. I don't know what I like. I was learning about branding. I don't know what I'm good at. And he's like, this, but I even didn't know. And then I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna be super serious about this. I'm just gonna flow. I'm gonna share what I'm learning. So I
Mm.
started sharing recipes and I started sharing like healthy lifestyle.
Uh-oh. Veronica, you're frozen for me. I don't know if you're frozen for everybody else.
Oh, you
Okay, there
sorry.
you are. I just heard you. Okay, there you are. You were gone there for a second. But you said you
Oh,
started sharing recipes, and
yeah.
then you got cut
And
off.
then beauty things, until I got to etiquette and how to act, like this way or that way. What is better, act this way or that way? And then my whole brand just like, and now I am, my whole brand is about inspiring other people become their best version through etiquette, message of life, presence. Presence for me is our daily practice of our essence, which is love, and it's just cool. So I found my niche, so to speak, by doing it, by sharing and getting to know myself. So don't be afraid. Just put yourself out there. It's okay. It doesn't matter if you have 1 like, 10 likes, right? Because that's what discouraged us. But let me tell you, when I started, maybe my mom and my husband just will like my things. But then, just think about
And
it,
they better like your thing.
right?
Right? Like,
If
where
not,
was your
I
like
would
today, honey? Honey, I didn't see you like my. Oh, baby, I'm sorry, I was at work. That's no excuse.
exactly. But even if you get like 2 likes, 10 likes, listen, just these are 10 people that you can talk to.
Yep.
and that you can connect and be friends. Like, stop having an agenda. I know, like, we have our businesses that we want to progress, we want to sell, we want to people join our team, but be human first, be a friend, and get genuinely interested to get to know this person, or see their profile, like build a relationship and see how can, maybe in the future, if you feel the energy to work together or not. But that's how my intention is, like, let's go make a lot of friends today.
It really is. So it's crazy how basic it is, right? It's like, you mean I have to like talk to humans? Like, we talk to people every day. Like, why can't we have conversations with people in an authentic way, building that relationship, nurturing the relationship? And you don't have to even bring up your business. Like, you know, I mean, people over the years that they reach out to me about my product or opportunity. Now, of course, you can't sit back waiting for people to ask you
Yeah.
either, but you might pop the question with someone today and they say, no, thank you, or they ghost you. And then a year from now, I'm telling you, this just happened recently. I wish this woman a happy birthday. The last time I talked to her was in February. Now, maybe that's partly my fault. I didn't follow up, but she didn't respond to my last few messages. But I sent her a happy birthday the other day. All of a sudden, she's in my inbox like, hey, thank you for the birthday wishes. How much is it to get started with your business again? Like, I think I want to get started because you know why? The timing is better. And I didn't continue to show up all the time. You know, you ready to join? You ready to join? You ready to join? Just stay in
Right.
touch. Timing is everything. And I love when you talk about the frequency and changing the channel, or you're, kind of like radio. I know a lot of us don't actually listen to the radio anymore, but some of us still do. I'm still one of those people. I will listen to the radio. And it is funny how, like, there's songs where I'm like, oh, that's terrible. But you know what? That'll be like Nadia's favorite song, or my kids love this song that I don't like at all. We're all different. We're all different. Anyway.
Isn't that so funny? I even didn't think about it. Yes, I was a radio girl.
Yeah, me too. I'm still like scanning the radio, and I'm like, why am I listening to radio? I can totally listen to like YouTube or some other app. But for me, and I think you're the same way, I don't listen to a lot of music anyway. People are like, you
Yeah.
don't listen to a lot of music? I'm like, I mean, I do and I don't, but not really. No, why? Because the truth is, why would I listen to someone else living their dream? I'm listening to their song. I'm going to go live my dream. I'm going to go listen to stuff that feeds me. And, a song is great, but that doesn't help me grow me.
Oh, exact. So there are different ways that you get this vibe. Like, for example,
Yeah.
me, John. Yes, I put music. I start dancing. Oh my gosh, have you been in my team calls? This is amazing. But anyways,
Oh,
we all
that's
grow
great.
in different ways,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Inspire different ways because we have different journeys, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. We cannot compare ourselves. You can hear something from this call and be like, okay, if it resonates with me, I will try it. I will experience it to see if I like it. If I don't, well, I do another thing. So always have discernment and take
Mm.
things that you want to take, and then don't take what you don't want to take, but at least try it.
Yeah, exactly. Test and tweak, test and tweak, and pay close attention to what people, especially when it comes to social media, what people are responding to. Because
Yeah.
I know for me and Veronica, same thing. It's like when you kind of mention this, when people start engaging with certain content, or they start asking questions, or thanking you, or sharing certain content, those are all indicators. It's like, oh, I touched on something, right? I touched on something that people are responding to. Like, this is an important conversation. Maybe I double down on this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you
Mm-hmm.
feel your niche, right? It's like you're seeing what people are engaging with, what they're sharing. So when you're creating content, we talk about the 3 E's: empower, entertain, educate. One of those three. It's always good. I like to entertain, right? Nadia and I, we like to have fun. I know you're the same way. We want to have a good time. But you also want to think about, like, is this relatable? And is this shareable content? Because if you can come up with shareable content, relatable content, like, you'll start having not all your posts, but you'll have certain posts that'll just pop off. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I got like people following me that I don't know. I got strangers in my inbox And that's when you know things are starting to pop off, right? Sonia Rodriguez is on here, right? She said we love dancing. I love it. Oh man, it's so exciting when you start building with people that are like you, that are awesome, that are fired up, that want to go build something. It really is. It makes all the difference. So Veronica, any final thoughts? Anything else you want to share? Maybe mention anything else about your book, because I know it's launching in 2 days. So congrats
In two
again. It's
days.
so
It's
amazing.
exciting. Oh,
It
you
is.
cannot miss the live. I'm gonna be live in Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday to show you guys the cover and to have this book for sale. And I am so excited to share with everyone. My final thought is like, always follow your heart. Follow your heart. Do what you want to do. Experience it, because you will not lose anything but gain so much of
Mm.
yourself. You're gonna gain wisdom through adversity, through obstacles, but also through all the relationships and people that you're gonna encounter in your way. So follow your heart, do what you like, that raises your vibration, your energy, and guess what, when you are in that high level of vibration, you manifest more of that in your life. Love you guys.
Oh, you're the best. I can't wait to see you. I know you guys are having your big book launch this weekend. We'll be in Vegas, so we will miss you, but we're definitely going to have to get together when we get back for sure. And again,
Yes.
so proud of you. Congrats to you, your team, your book launch, all the things. We just love you. And y'all, smash the heart button. Let Veronica know how much you appreciate her. Share this if it really impacted you. Tag some teammates. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks, Veronica.